facing the police every single day.
Do not log in.
Okay.
So got an account. So this is a new thing. So okay, now we're recording, and whenever you're ready. And you know what I'll do is I may stop and ask you some questions.
Yep.
But pretty much just take it away and just tell us your story.
All right. So again, my name is Andrew Sheets. I'm a reporter for Charlotte County Copwatch. I started Copwatch about 6 years ago because unfortunately corruption happened with me with the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office. I had a bad neighbor. He was stalking me, and the deputy committed perjury in court and got the case thrown out. Then I found out about Copwatch, and I found out there was no Copwatch here. So then I decided to start Copwatch here, and I've been doing it ever since. I took it a little bit different. As you know, a lot of guys are totally into auditing. I love the auditing thing. It holds them accountable, but I did a different spin on it. I like the idea with Sunshine Law where we get to investigate the investigators, which is beautiful. And then I expose it on Facebook, websites, YouTube. And it was going so well. I believe you remember, Carlos, I had a huge YouTube channel. Made money for a little bit, but they cut it off. I didn't care. I wanted to keep fighting. But 1 year ago, it was at 70 million views, 4 million views a month, 60,000 subscribers. And I believe it was 1 year ago that the Charlotte County Sheriff illegally took it down because we were kicking his ass. And it came down the same day that I went to go talk to CALEA, their accreditation bureau, and it was going to be on video. Hardly anybody showed up. It was just me and a couple other people, and that same day it came down. So I believe it was him that did it.
So when was this, Andrew?
It came down, I believe it was a year ago now.
So your YouTube channel went down, and did you get it back?
I did not get it back. I did have a backup channel that I believe was at 10 million views. I got that going up to maybe 15 million views, and isn't that weird? 6 months later, that came down.
What is the reasons YouTube is telling you?
Okay, they're supposedly saying copyright strikes, or as you know, this is another scary one. The community guidelines is very scary now. You can literally get trolled down. You ever heard of that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I believe that's what's happening. I believe it is the sheriff's office doing that. So here we get the big channel got taken down. The channel with 15 million views got taken down. And then I want to ask you, Carlos, have you heard of this? Have you heard of shadow banning?
Yes, I was shadow banned on Reddit for a long time.
Okay, I believe now I'm being shadow banned. So here I had, the big channel, I had the backup channel, and now I got another channel going. Still don't make any money. I don't care. I'm just sick of the corruption. And that one I think just hit, it took a year. I think it hit 1.3 million, 3,000 subscribers. But, I used to get thousands of views, and now I get maybe 100 to 300 views. So...
Well, that is happening to me. It's happening to a lot of the police accountability websites. It's like this concerted effort between Google and Facebook and Twitter where they're just cracking down. Facebook has cut down on my readership big time.
Wow.
The last year, ever since August. Ever since Zuckerberg went up and spoke to Congress last year.
Correct.
It's been bad.
So yes, I feel your pain.
And I do agree with you. I do personally believe that the cops have something to do with my Facebook, because I know police have a direct line to Facebook, unlike all of us, the rest of us.
Correct.
So I can imagine them saying, "Oh well, this guy is he's making our jobs harder, and we're fearing for our lives." Yeah, I can see that. And, Facebook says, sure, we'll throttle the traffic down, because they're even saying they're doing that. They're saying that they'll reduce your traffic if they think you're not following your community standards or whatever.
Correct. And I don't know if you heard from Jeff or not. Did you hear that last year? Now that we're talking about this, last year, I don't know if you do this. I do this now every year. I check into in fact, I just got my David lookup for the last year. There's a crap load that looked me up again illegally. I also, once in a while, I ask for my name in the database here with the sheriff's office, because that's when you get lucky, and sadly, you find out if you're under investigation or they're talking about you. Last year, I found out we did a story on the sheriff and the judge's corruption here, where they didn't arrest a guy that somebody turned in that was a pedophile. And since they didn't arrest him, instead they arrested my drunk friend who turned him in. The guy went on to rape more kids. So we did a story on that, Carlos. I think it was a year and a half ago. I find out last year that for over, I believe it was 11 months, me and my friend were under investigation just for exposing that story. And Carlos, this is how I know, like you said, that we get on a list that we're not good people. We know they say we're not. But we found out that, yes, they got into my Facebook account. They got into my Gmail. They got into my YouTube. It was outrageous. We have the investigation. We have the documents. We got the deuces tecums. So like you're saying...
Wait, let me ask you. Did you say they got into your email? Are you talking about your private email?
I will be on... I'm going to take that back. It was not email, but they did contact Comcast for my internet, okay? They did. We got the documents. They did contact Facebook. We got the documents. They did contact YouTube. We got the documents. And as you know, when you got these agencies contacting them, do these companies feel good or bad? You get one.
What did they tell them when they?
They told them that we were putting up an illegal video. Crap. The ordinance that they tried to get us under was broadcasting a victim's name. Unbeknownst to me, my friend did supposedly say the name in the video. As you know, I'm a video freak. I just took his video, reposted the video. I didn't know that. I come to find out later, the guy was never charged for what she claimed. And here's another interesting one. Did you know that broadcasting a victim's name, that statute's only for government? You already know that was struck down by the Supreme Court, that publishers, the press can say the name. Are you aware of that?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not even aware of the initial law.
Okay. So yeah, beware of that one. We can do it, but it is a touchy subject. So for 11 months, dude, they investigated everything. In fact, I do believe they used the cell phone Stingray on me. We can't prove it yet. My phone acts like crap all the time. But we got all the documents. They got into Facebook, YouTube, Google. Here's another thing, Carlos.
Let me ask you a question, because I know a lot of people are curious about this.
Okay.
When you want to do a public records request on how they're investigating, what exactly are you asking for?
Okay, the way that I ask is sunshine law request for, I'll have the investigation number for any and all emails or documents connected with this case. And that's how, and actually I have to take that back. You also have to add audio and video. Because do you know what they did? They took copies of the videos off of all the places we did, as evidence. And so that was interesting. So that's how I got it. It's very easy. What's that?
Finish this question. How long does it take for them to give this to you, and how much do they charge?
Very good question. Sometimes I get lucky. Sometimes I get it in a week. Sometimes I get it in 2 weeks. And you are correct. To get that documentation, I believe I had to pay $35.
Okay. They were trying to charge me $120 at the Miami-Dade PD for the same shit. That's why I asked.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds a little bit high. Correct. I don't know if you've seen some of the prices that they tried to charge me over the years. Did you see any of the prices that I sent you? I believe Eric McDonough said I beat his. I think one of the bills for my stuff was $1.5 million. So yes, the overcharging is outrageous, out of control. Here's another thing that they admitted in the investigation, Carlos. They actually admitted to taking down our videos off of Facebook and YouTube. We published a story, and they took it down. Legal or illegal?
How did they do that?
They told them that, like I said, that we're harming the victim, we're broadcasting the name, and that it's illegal. And there again, that does not help, my credibility or whatever. So now I believe that's why I'm being shadow banned to hell. on YouTube big time. Facebook is coming back a little bit.
And when you say shadow ban, what exactly do you mean?
Like I said, with the big channel, I miss the big channel, man. We were killing it. 4 million views a month. I mean, I had thousands of millions of views on videos. Okay, I do admit I had a lot of videos, a shitload on that. The big YouTube channel, I think 15,000 videos. So now, like I said, I get 100 views. I get 300 views.
That's pretty much going all over the place.
All right. Sure. But what's weird is, I don't know if you've heard of it, as you know, Carlos, some of these auditors are killing it on views. I am not friends with Ian McGuire, and I don't support him stalking that old lady, which he did, but his other stuff is just going nuts. I don't know if you saw that. He just posted a video, 1 week, that thing just hit 180,000 views for an audit that he did.
I didn't see that. I'm not familiar with him, but yeah, I mean, I don't know what he's doing for that. I'm not familiar.
Right. But the auditors, if you got good stuff auditing, the auditors are killing it. Big time.
And maybe, the ones that you're talking about, maybe they haven't caught the attention of the cops. Because people like me and you, we've been doing this for so long.
That is true. No, actually you are correct. And I'm sure you've heard stories here lately that they're shutting auditors down. I mean, literally, I heard one of them got a court order that he cannot post any more videos and or they have to take his channel down. I do not remember the name, but I've literally heard that. In fact, E-Boy Rob up in Tampa, I don't know why, he was killing it on his auditing channel and he just took all of his video down. So something is going on. Well, I'm sure you know that, with the auditing going crazy. I mean, we're exposing a lot lately, correct?
Right.
So, do you think the police like that?
No, I mean, of course not. And I know there is a coordinated effort right now.
Absolutely.
And social media, their Facebook is going through all this Russian hacking drama. So now they're taking out on people like me who have nothing to do.
Well, not only you, they got Alex Jones. To make it even, they just took down Farrakhan, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is getting way stupid, and I'm not saying I'm doing everything right, Carlos, but like I said, they consider me a FOIA terrorist. You ever heard of that one?
No.
Okay, Freedom of Information Act terrorist, because I get the information and I broadcast. I put it on Facebook. I put it on YouTube. I'm sure you've seen one of my techniques. I do a screen reader and make it into a video because a lot of people like me are lazy. We don't want to read. You just want to hear it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Actually, even for Jeff, Jeff drives truck. You know what he does when he's driving? He listens to auditors. He listens to stuff that we do. So anyways, that's what happened to me. That's why I believe I'm being shadow banned. I was illegally investigated for 11 months. By the way, when I found out... What's that?
Brian, I mean, Andrew, here's the thing, though. When you're shadow banned, all you have to do is go to another account and determine that. Have you done that? Just go to you have another YouTube account that's
right.
not connected with yours and see if you can find your account that you believe is shadow banned.
All right. You are right. I literally would have to... this is how Ian got his channel back. Okay, a guy down here got his channel taken down, okay? He was killing it. I mean, 33,000, he was just blowing it up. His channel got taken down. He got trolled down. I believe the police trolled him down. I believe the police said something, okay?
What is this?
That was Ian McGuire. He had a channel called So They Call It Freedom. I saw the YouTube email that he got. I've never seen one this harsh. I mean, they literally said, you never can be on YouTube, your address will be banned, your IP will be banned, and all that. So the way he got his channel back is he put all the information under a friend of his address, bank, and etc. And now he's coming back big time. But for me in my situation where I live I'm kind of out in the sticks here. I think I would have to buy a VPN and try it. And even then, I mean, Carlos, man, you know and I know with the technology nowadays, with the voice, the face, whatever, they can instantly see it and you're shadow banned again.
Right.
So I hear what you're saying. I am a computer freak. Yes, I can do all of that, but I do believe I'm just on the hit list big time.
Right. And have you tried to find out? I mean, through your public records request, or what happens when you try to do that?
That is true. Oh my God, no, they deny that they did it. I think, in my opinion, it is going to take a lawsuit. I don't know if you heard from Jeff. Hope to God, after 6 years, I finally have a lawyer to at least start one of the lawsuits with Punta Gorda Police Department. Punta Gorda government trespassed me for video recording when I made a records request.
Okay. When was that?
That was, I think, 5 months ago. They made an ordinance. It's getting full Nazi here. They made an ordinance that you cannot record public officials while they're on public duty in a public place. Is that legal?
Okay. I didn't know that.
They did, and I got trespassed under that. I got trespassed for a year. By the way, if you get trespassed in Florida, you have the right to redress. Their trespass has no redress, so that's the second thing that they violated. So hope to God the lawyers, he's going to go federal court. He's going to go after him for violating my right to record and for violating my right to redress.
What is your lawyer's name?
It's Jeff's lawyer. I finally got him. Andrew what is his name? Andrew Bonderland? Yes. Yes, correct.
He represented us in Pinac a few years ago with this deal we had up in Jacksonville when the judge was not allowing us to record inside the courtroom.
Really? And
they ended up withdrew the lawsuit after they basically agreed we could record, and that was his decision.
Okay, it's funny you mention that. Okay, and Jeff will tell you this, and I'm sorry I keep mentioning Jeff, but we're buds. We talk all the time.
Jeff is our guy, man.
All right, okay. So Jeff will tell you that it's full-blown war against me and a couple other people here fighting corruption. First, it was Punta Gorda a year ago that made that illegal ordinance that we couldn't record public officials in a public building. The other guy, Ian, is trespassed for life. How do you do that for life? Then after that, Carlos, what's that?
What did Ian do?
All he did was record public officials in a public place. That's it. Okay, it's just bad. I do admit he's more obnoxious, but whatever. Then, Carlos, we were exposing, stuff at our courthouse here. Kangaroo court for magistrates, for code stuff, and when you have your redress for the trespass, you can take it to a magistrate at the courthouse. We were filming that. I mean, it is so bad. So we were exposing that, Carlos, and isn't that weird? 1 month ago, I went to court, and they said, Mr. Sheets, do you have cameras in your bag? And I said, of course I do, because I always wear my body camera when I'm in the hallways, the public areas, correct? I cannot do it in the security area, but in the public areas all day long, and if they have kangaroo court, I'll do it there. If there's a court case I want to do, I'll do it there. They made a new, he goes, here's the new judge's order. I cannot bring any cameras into the courthouse, and if I record, I will be held contempt of court. I will be charged.
So this is the ordinance that they came up with?
So that's not an ordinance, that's a judge's order. I don't know if you know this, under the new judge's administrative rules written in 2013, they made a new one that talks about how the judge has the right for safety. Every time they say safety, you lose another freedom. You know that, right?
Yeah, safety means control.
Yes.
But, yeah, they try to do the same thing to us, though. That's why we got Bonnaroo, and the judge is back down.
But you know what? This is a sad part. Nothing against Andrew Bonderud. We told him about it. He said that they have the right to do it. And I don't know why he's saying that, but he's saying that they do, and he doesn't want to fight that one. I'm really bummed because we're cut off. We were exposing. On Monday morning, the list of people for trial was insane. Just showing that on video was epic. So that started, like I said, a month ago, and then like I said, just 2 weeks ago, Ian, the other guy that does stuff here, he went into a building, made a records request, and she goes, "You can't record me." He goes, "What are you talking about?" She goes, and this was a Charlotte County government building, And she goes, it's on the new rules out there. And he goes out there and he's way funny a lot of times. He gets his camera right on the rules. And there's a new one, number 7. You cannot record any public officials in a public place while they're on public duty. And it gets worse. If a citizen does not want you to record, they can get you trespassed too. It gets worse. They literally talk about conveyance. Carlos, it's so out of control. Ian, the other guy here, does a lot of his stuff outside on the sidewalk, which should be totally fair game, correct? That's out in the public, right? They are literally stating in this new rule that if he's out on the sidewalk, he's one of the people that likes to do free speech signs, like fuck the police and all that. All right. So if somebody out there thinks that he is being obnoxious or mean, they can literally get him trespassed on a sidewalk.
Wow.
Is that constitutional?
No, it's not. And I'm surprised nobody has challenged it. No lawyers have stepped up.
Here it is so unconstitutional, corrupt. None of the lawyers here for 6 years, well, they consider me kryptonite. They think I'm a whack job nutcase because whatever. I'm doing their job, which is sad. But nobody here will take it because all the lawyers here told me if they take it, they'll never win another case. You ever heard that? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how many times have you been arrested?
That's the lucky part. That's one reason why they do hate me, Carlos. I do admit I'm a recovering alcoholic. I used to drink, drug, be a thief when I was young. I'm old now, 54. But since I've lived in Florida, I don't drink, I don't drug. Me and the wife clean houses. She sings in a choir at church. They don't got shit. They hate that. We don't do anything wrong.
But they did arrest you for that. Recording, because...
No, that was I apologize. I apologize. That was a trespass.
Okay. So, yeah. No, when I asked you that, I know you're not doing anything wrong, but...
Okay.
That saves you from being arrested these days.
Correct.
You were arrested at one time, though, for trespassing?
No, I never got arrested for trespassing, but I will tell you, I've been trespassed, I think I'm up to 6 times. I had to get a lawyer in kangaroo court. She got rid of one. One of them they dropped because they knew it was illegal. They thought I was Ian, and I'm not Ian, so they trespassed me. They dropped that one. Then we got the Punta Gorda trespass that hopefully Andrew's going to do. Now we got the Charlotte County government trespass for filming a public official on their public duty.
So wait, 6 trespass warnings or?
Yes, 6. Now,
so Punta Gorda,
yes.
Charlotte County, and who else?
Punta Gorda and Charlotte County. That's the 2 right there. So we got Punta Gorda's kicking them out. Charlotte County's kicking them out. They are trying to shut us down from exposing corruption. That's all we're doing. We're exposing corruption. I admit the other guy, he's pushing it and having fun with free speech, but he has the right to free speech, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. But when he's downtown with these rich people down here in PGI, it's all old, rich, retired people, and he's got a sign that says, fuck the police. Do you think they get a little bit freaked out?
Right.
Yes. Yeah, he's like an Eric Brandt, except, well, Eric Brandt's worse, better, whatever, but, yeah, he's kind of like an Eric Brandt.
Right.
So like you said, you want me to get to the story while we're here today. By the way, I do need to mention to you quick, Ian, I believe... This is how out of control it is here, Carlos. I believe he's up to 20 trespasses in 1.5 years.
Wow. Wait, let me ask you this. So you get so many trespasses, it sounds like you're just going right back again. And were they giving you another trespass?
No. So what it is, when you get, the trespass is for that property. Carlos, if you go back to that property, I don't know if you've ever read about the trespass law in Florida. Jesus Christ, you go to jail, period. 3 months to 6 months.
They give you due process, because I was permanently banned, they said, for the Metro Rail.
Okay.
Taking pictures, this along, like in 2010.
Right.
But I went back, and that's it. And there was, this whole battle between me and them, but
correct.
They were wrong.
Correct.
And let me ask you this, though. So there's 6 trespass warnings. So what buildings were these trespass warnings from?
I'm glad you asked it. Okay, so here's your example of how it started. It started like a year ago. During the last election, I was one of those people that was going to the voting places and I was doing just like Jeff. I was just there, recording. I did not go inside where they vote. I'm just outside, and it's just like Jeff, man. They freaked out. And I will admit, the first trespass, they thought I was Ian. They thought I was the other guy, which is a super insult. The guy is super fat. But anyways, and they trespassed me. So that's the one that they dropped because they trespassed the wrong guy. Even though I told them that was the wrong guy, they didn't.
Precinct, the voting precinct?
It was held in a library, which, as you know, is public. And yeah, the Charlotte County Sheriff trespassed me.
Okay, so I want to get all the details. So that one is, which library was that?
I don't know the name, to be honest, but it was a Charlotte County library.
Okay, anyway, go on.
Okay, the next one was, like I said, I don't hang out with, Ian is like kryptonite. I don't hang out with the other guy anymore at all. If you hang out with him, you're going to go to jail. That's it, period. So, but I did, after I got trespassed from the library, then we went to the government the head Charlotte County government building to find out who trespassed us and why. It was me, Ian, and a couple other auditors. And we walked in there. I was being decent. Ian kind of, if anybody says anything to him, he kind of follows him, which is legal, but questionable. And anyways, so since if anybody said anything to him, he would say something back. And we got trespassed for that. That's the one where I did get a lawyer to help me in kangaroo court, which in the end, I think is a waste of money. It cost me $1,500. If you take it to real court, as you know, then you can maybe get damages or whatever else. But kangaroo court's a freaking joke. It's a fake court. And we were exposing the fake court with video. I mean, it's atrocious. So she got me off of that charge.
What building was that? The second trespass?
Was at the Charlotte County Government Head Murdoch Building. It's where almost... that's in Charlotte County, and it's just a giant building that's got tons of the different agencies inside it.
Okay.
All right. And again, I'll be honest. They hate Ian so bad. If Ian wasn't there that day, I probably would not have been trespassed. Right. But he was there, and they do hate his guts, so they trespassed him and me.
YouTube channel again?
What's that?
What is the name of his YouTube channel again?
His new YouTube channel is called Hate the State. That's actually a really good name. I like it. The last name was good too, so they call it Freedom because it's a joke. We're not free. So that's his channel. So the trespass after that is Punta Gorda. Then I went to the Punta Gorda City Hall to the front desk. I was doing a story if they still have the illegal ordinance that you can't record. So I went in there with my press mask, my body camera. I said, can I have an ordinance? They said, are you recording? I said, yes. They said, you can't. I said, I'm still going to. And I got trespassed.
That was the third time?
That was the third time. Okay.
Punta Gorda is in Charlotte County?
Yes, it is. It's a little tiny city inside Charlotte County. Charlotte County is a pretty big county.
Okay.
All right.
The ordinance you're talking about was a county ordinance, right?
So that's the interesting part. It first started with Punta Gorda doing an emergency order to pass this ordinance that we can't record public officials while they're on public duty because they felt scared when we were there recording them, which is insane. That's why if you got a job for working for the public, that's life. Okay? And as you know, this is bull crap. There's freaking cameras all over these offices, correct?
Right.
Yes, it's stupid. And here's another one. I like what a judge said during all the Trump investigations and all that. A judge told the FBI, why didn't you record that investigation that you did with that person? The judge said, all a video recording is backup of your eyes and ears, and that's so goddamn true, it's not even funny. That's all it is. And I'm a tech person. I don't know if you know about this. The tech is coming. They're going to soon, in the very near future, they're going to be able to get video out of your head. Literally. You can literally remember it, and they're going to pull that sucker out. They're working on it right now. So that's coming anyways. So So here we go. Here's the last trespass. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's 4 or 5. I don't know. I lost track. Ian has lost track. So the last trespass, like I said, 2 weeks ago, Ian went to the Charlotte County government building, and they said, well, now we got a new, one of the new rules is number 7 that you can't record, and he's like, what? I didn't know about this, and they trespass him. So that's kind of a tag team thing we do. If he gets trespassed, I'll go back later as a reporter and say what happened, why did it happen. So I went back and I did that. I got my press pass on. This is a funny part. And I got the body camera on. I got a body camera with a little red blinking light. And they gave me the ordinance, and I go, so that's it? They said, yep. They wouldn't trespass me. They saw the light. I'm like, I thought you can't record. No, you can't, and I'd like it if you stop. I said, I'm not going to stop. And then I go, are you going to call the cops? They go, well, we will have to call the cops. I said, that's fine. Go ahead. They called the cop. Dude, now they don't want to do it because and I know this is...
Wait, where exactly was this?
This was at a Charlotte County government building where the election office is.
Okay, that was the third one you were telling. So then what happened?
Okay, so the cops came. They trespassed me under the new and I guess what I found out, it's not an ordinance, it's a rule. We already got the documents with Sunshine Law where the Charlotte County attorney that works for the county amended the list of rules. They have a list of 15 rules that if you fart, they can trespass you. It's a bunch of shit. It's so vague, it's ridiculous. But they put in there the new rule number 7 that you can't record public officials, and if a regular person doesn't like you recording, they can get you trespassed. It's insane. So she admitted in an email, Carlos, that they did not amend the ordinance. She just made up a rule and put it in there. Is that legal or not?
No, it doesn't appear. Now, who's this?
Her name is Jeanette Knowlton. She is a Charlotte County attorney.
Jeanette Knowlton, and so she's the one that added this rule.
Yes.
Right.
Which, totally illegal. Unbelievable.
And how can you, and so she's basically putting whatever rule she wants.
Yes.
And, I mean, the cops are enforcing that rule.
They are. It's bad. So here's.
So what is it? There's no charge, I guess, because there's no actual law. So they just can trespass you, right?
That is correct.
It's an excuse to trespass you.
You are correct.
Right. Okay.
So we are praying that Andrew Bonderlin is going to take this case too. He is aware of it. Eric Friday saw it, and he already wrote him an email saying you are going to have a field day with this because it's so bad. I mean,
and like you said, they're under surveillance video. We should get all that surveillance video.
Correct. Correct. It's the same thing. That's what's insane. You are absolutely correct. So anyway, I got to get a drink here. So that's the trespass stories. They're trying to shut us down. We're exposing what's going on here with video, and they hate it. So let's get back to the story why we're here too. So one of the biggest stories that I
get some water.
All right.
Go on. Talk.
All right. So as you know, so the reason why we're here is I broke, in my opinion, and Jeff would agree, Eric Friday would agree, one of the biggest stories investigations that we found. So this is how we found it. 3 months ago, a friend of mine that lives near me thought he was under investigation. He was too scared to ask if he was. So he asked me, everybody asked me to do the dirty work. And so I'm like, I don't care, whatever, it's not illegal. So I did a search for his name in the Charlotte County Sheriff database 3 months ago, and oh my God, we got a hit. Okay.
When you say you did a search, you did a request?
Yes, I did a request, sorry. So that's all. Sunshine Law request for that's his name, Chris Pretzer's name in the Charlotte, any and all emails or documents in the Charlotte County Sheriff database, okay? And we got a hit. And we're like, what the hell? Maybe he is under investigation. That's the fun part. You find out you're under investigation. They redacted a lot of it, but you can usually figure out what it is. So we found out he was on what they call the pawn list from 2013. Are you aware what the pawn shops do when you go there to pawn stuff?
No, tell me.
Okay, so this is what they did. Back in 1995, they consider everybody that goes to a pawn shop a criminal. And when you go to a pawn shop, when you pawn something or sell it to them, you give them all your information. I swear next they're going to be asking for your blood, but they get your fingerprint, your height, your weight, your eye color, your driver's license, everything. And now that we're computerized, it goes into a central database here in Florida. Well, back in 2004, there's a state rep that lives right here. His name is Lindsay Harrington, and the lady that works with NRA, I forget her name, Marion Hammer. Okay, they found out that the cops were going into that database, finding out everybody that sold a gun and pawned a gun, and they were profiling the hell out of them. Big time. Okay, they could literally drive... What's that?
What would they do? How would they profile?
Okay, so this is the stories that, I personally talked to the state rep about this and why they made the 79335 so harsh. He said the cops literally told him they could, let's example, down in Miami, literally drive down the road, have their laptop over here to the right, and literally know every single person and house that had a gun in that neighborhood and profile them.
Because they bought it at the pawn shop.
They either pawned their gun at the pawn shop or they sold their gun. Okay. So they were getting their name, all the information, and they were keeping it in a database. So you know and I know, if you get pulled over and they know you have a gun, are they going to treat you differently?
Of course.
Of course. If you touch your cell phone, oh shit, he had a gun, boom, you're dead. So anyways, that's how Chris got in this database. He pawned a gun. I'm not sure if he pawned or sold, whatever. He's a gun freak. Nice guy, used to be a block layer, all that shit. He likes to collect guns, okay? So he pawned a gun, he got on the list, and under statute 79335 from 2004, when they found out that they were doing this, the cops were collecting all this information on gun owners, they made it a third-degree felony, a $5 million fine to the agency, and everybody that's been illegally profiled can have redress, which means sue them.
So who made this decision, a judge?
The person that made the decision, like I said, that's actually a statute. You can look it up. Lindsay Harrington and Marion Hammer got that passed in 2004, I believe.
So they're state reps?
Lindsay was a state rep. He's not anymore. And Marion Hammer is still with the NRA.
Okay.
So you know and I know, that's pretty harsh. They were trying to put the fear of God into the cops, and guess what happened? The cops said, fuck you, we're God, we're going to do it anyways. And we blew the story open 3 months ago. Even Eric didn't know about this. That's why he was floored, shocked. So we found out that my friend Chris was on this list from 2013. And so, like I said, they're literally taking the names and they're keeping them in a database. Carlos, we literally have emails where these cops are talking about how, in one of the emails, the cops are saying, look at all these women pawning and selling their guns. I bet their husbands are criminals or boyfriends. Another one literally talked about, Carlos, it literally said in the email, see if you know anybody on this list and if we can work a case on them.
Right.
That's fucked up, correct?
Yeah.
That's bad. So, okay, that's how it all started. So then, one of my techniques that I do is I go fishing. I call it fishing, Carlos. I have all 60 sheriffs' emails. I now have all 200 police emails in Florida. So now we're up to 260 emails. So I started going fishing. And I started asking everybody. Most people called it the gun pawn list, okay? All right, they would go in like every 30 days or 60 days, and under 790, they're only supposed to get the name and the serial number to see if the gun's hot. That makes sense, correct? Okay, well, we don't know how they're doing it. They are bypassing that. They're getting the name, their birth date, their middle name. Carlos, I have some of the lists. I can literally...
How do you know?
What?
How do you know they're getting that?
I have it. I have the documents.
Okay.
Okay.
So the law says they're not allowed to do that?
That is absolutely correct.
Okay.
790.335. So I started asking all the police and the sheriff's agencies, do you have the pawn list? And that's when it went stupid, Carlos. And that's when Eric Friday started going, what the fuck? This is what happened. The list that was with Charlotte County that my friend is on was redacted. They wouldn't give it, they say under the pawn statute 560, 590 that they can redact it, right? I'm like, okay, whatever. You admitted he's in there, too late, you're busted, okay? Sarasota Sheriff, like three weeks later, I asked them for the gun pawn list. Apparently they got somebody new in records, because guess what she gave me? A whole month of a gun pawn list unredacted. Really? I can send you the docs later if you send me your email. Dude, and that's what started everything. I mean, I started calling those people on the...
What did you say gave this to you?
Sarasota Sheriff Records Department. Accidentally, oops, gave me an unredacted list. Right. And that's where it all started from there. I started calling up Eric. I'm like, dude, there's people that sold a gun, pawned a gun. They're not criminals. They're just doing business. And he's like, this doesn't sound right. And he started calling people, asking questions. He talked to Lindsay Harrington. He's like, holy shit, this is illegal as hell. I kept fishing. And here's a sad part, Carlos. It got worse. We found out that there's a crap load of places doing this, so that's bad. Almost everybody in Florida is doing it, Carlos. This lawsuit's going to be massive. Eric Friday's already said it. This is where it also got worse. We found out there's another list, Carlos. When you go to try to buy a gun, as you know, you go through a background check. That's fair. Okay, on the background check, if you fail the background check immediately, like my friend did, you get put on a non-approval list, Carlos. And what they were doing with this non-approval list, it was on an Excel spreadsheet, and they would put down, what you were accused of. Maybe you didn't pay your child support, or you supposedly beat your, girlfriend, whatever. And you got to put on this list. We have the emails, Carlos. They were sending this list nationwide, Homeland Security, ATF, ICE, DOJ, everybody got this list, and Eric's like, what the fuck? Eric said, as you know, that's Eric's job, is gun law. He said 80 to 90% of the people on that list, he can beat it all day long. It's something stupid, and he can get them to buy a gun. Only 10% are maybe real criminals. So here you got, it was state police, FDLE, that were sharing that list, Carlos, nationwide, and we found out he was on that list, and I kept fishing for that list too next, Carlos. Guess how many names I got so far?
How many?
41,000.
People?
On the non-approval list, dude. Carlos, this is how out of control it is. In the beginning, they said the list, I couldn't get the list because of a statute, right? Okay, I'm like, okay, whatever, but you're busted again, so I didn't care. But I kept fishing for the list, right? All of a sudden, somebody gave me the list, unredacted. And me and Eric were flipping out like, oh my God. And they're violating HIPAA too, by the way, Carlos. It's mentally defective people are on the list. It literally says mentally defective. That's a big no-no. Also, I kept fishing for the list. This is when I hit the mother load. You're not going to believe who gave me the mother load. I was crapping my pants that night. State Attorney's Office in SAO1, which is up in the Panhandle, way up there, they gave me the mother load of lists. They are the ones that gave me 41,000 names unredacted.
So this is happening all over the state.
All over the state. And these people are being illegally crucified because, as you know, if you're being accused of a crime, should you have redress?
Right. So let me ask you, so what's going on? So they apply for a concealed weapons permit? Is that what they're doing?
That's funny you mention that. We believe that, yes, we believe the concealed carry people that were denied are on that list, and we believe the people that tried to buy a gun and were denied are on that list.
Okay. Right. So it's probably the 3-day waiting.
Yes, it's a 3-day wait. Right. Correct. So this is how the lawsuit started. Now we're going to get to this part. So this is where Eric's starting. Actually, I'm going to back up real quick again. Eric is giving, in 790, it states that you are supposed to give the state attorney general the chance to rectify it first, okay? In the statute, it literally says that the state attorney general, when given the evidence, which we have done, Eric has done, must investigate the illegal violation of keeping a list of gun owners, okay, with the pawn list, the non-approval list. He has did that. Supposedly what he's told me, they're using FDLE to investigate the cops, which, as you know, is a fucking joke. So the last thing he has heard, they are not going to do their job. They're not going to prosecute. They're not going to fine. Nobody's guilty. And this is probably just going to go to a massive lawsuit. I mean, huge. So that's where I'll get to Eric Friday's lawsuit. So this is where he's going to start the first lawsuit. The people that were denied to get a gun, to try to buy a gun, the 3-day waiting thing. I don't know if you've heard, in the past year, ever since the Parkland shooting, that was over that way, right? Over on your side?
Yeah.
Okay. Ever since the Parkland shooting, there's been a lot of people that were denied a gun, and by law, the Florida FDLE has to give them a decision in 3 days. So here's the interesting thing that was happening, and it happened to my friend. It was in the paper today. I sent it to you earlier. When he blew the story up, I'm sure you know that our sheriff isn't happy because we exposed it, right? Well, isn't that weird, Carlos? 2 months after we exposed the story, he's a gun freak, like I said. He went to try to buy a gun, and guess what? He has a concealed carry for 5 years now, okay? So he's already been through the background check, right? He went to go buy a gun, and they wouldn't let him buy a gun. Guess who put something on his background that said he did a bad thing and now he can't buy a gun? Charlotte County Sheriff. This sheriff is so fucking corrupt. Just because he broke the story of the gun list, he found a charge from 1995 that he was never charged with. It was just a charge. Never charged. What's that?
What charge was that?
The charge was basically pepper spray. For discharging pepper spray. Okay? Yeah. Never charged for it. Doesn't even remember it. I mean, it's 1995. And so he was waiting to buy a gun for, I believe it was 62 days. And they're supposed to do it in 3 days. Okay? So when Eric found out about that, he said, you want to know what? I'm going to let the state attorney general try to do her job. If she doesn't, they're screwed. I will sue them to hell. And all the agencies, that violated our rights, profiled us. So his idea was, and it was a good one, go with FDLE first, sue them for violating their rights for not letting them, getting back to them in 3 days if they, if they can get a gun or not. He found other people, so it was a class action lawsuit. 3 people were on there, and the minute he filed the lawsuit, I don't know if you've ever, that was the first lawsuit I read from Eric, and it's awesome. It's beautiful, man. He is ruthless. The minute he filed the lawsuit, the 2 other people got to buy a gun ASAP. Okay? FDLE knows they screwed up. Our sheriff is such a dick asshole. He took 3 days before he finally took it off his record, and now he can buy a gun. But it's too late. The lawsuit's already filed. Eric's going to find out how many other people, he's going to get the records to see how many other people were violated. And this is going to give him, as you know with discovery, this gives gets his foot in the door to start getting all the documents on what the hell is going on. Wow. That's what I said. Wow. And it was in the paper today. The newspaper here, it took 6 years, Carlos. I've been in the paper many times. I've been on the news many times. But it took 6 years. Finally, in the past probably month, they've done a couple stories. They did a story in the gun list multiple times. They finally say my name, my full name, and they finally say Copwatch, that's huge for here. There's so many old farts. That's a big deal. And yeah, they just did the article today. It was a 3rd page back. and they did it on Eric Friday's lawsuit, and my friend Chris, how he's involved in it. Here's the thing that bums me out about the article today. It's a good article. It was almost half a page long. They did not mention anywhere in there it was the sheriff, Charlotte County Sheriff Bill Promell, that caused this.
Right.
That kind of pissed me off. But whatever. The lawsuit's into effect. Let the games begin. And Eric said he was so pissed that when the sheriff wouldn't let him buy a gun right away, he would love to get him in deposition. Mm-hmm. So that is the gun story. I mean, as I told you, I get documents all the time. I could go on forever with other stuff that I found too, but that's where we are right now. I do want to mention this, just so you're aware of it. Did you know that we are starting to finally get documents on the cell phone stingray warrants?
No.
Have you ever read one?
I don't believe so.
All right. Email me. I will send you that too, because I want. What's that?
You have my email because I emailed you the link to.
That is true. That is. I'm sorry. I have CRS. But Carlos, what do you think a cell phone stingray is, and what can they do with it? What do you think?
Oh, from what I read, is basically they can track you on your cell phone wherever you're at.
And?
You tell me.
Okay, I'm going to tell you. It's in the warrants. I think I'm up to 20 warrants now. If you read what they're freaking pulling cell phone stingray warrants on, I think it was Sarasota. If you fart in Sarasota, they'll pull a cell phone stingray warrant. So this is basically what it says, Carlos. All of our fears came true when we read it. They can track you, data, voice, text, IP. Carlos, they get it all, man.
When did you get that?
I got lucky. It's funny you mention that. Guess who? I used ACLU's wording, because they tried to get documents before. So all I did is use some of their wording. And then there's another guy I think you know too. He lives up in Sarasota by me, Michael Barfield. That guy's a freaking animal with records. He kicked Sarasota's ass to get their cell phone stingray warrants. Did you know it was because of Michael Barfield that they have to get a real warrant now in 2014?
No, I don't think I'm familiar with him.
Yeah, Barfield is, oh my God, he's awesome. Look him up. He took them to court. Because this is how sad and scary this is. Before 2014, Carlos, I just told you everything that they get with that thing. They should have a full-blown warrant, correct?
Right.
Guess what? Before 2014, they weren't even getting a full-blown warrant.
Oh.
It was disgusting. I mean, one person that they got a warrant for was suicidal. We found out the real reason. Do you know why he was suicidal? Because he was hooked on opioids. What do you think they really had it on him for? The opioids. So I want to tell you another thing too, which I don't know if you know. When they turn that sucker on, it's about the size of a suitcase or smaller. Did you know they get everybody in the neighborhood? Are you aware of that?
No. So when did you get those documents?
I've been starting to get them for the past month now. If you want a bunch of them, Carlos, get a hold of Barfield. Barfield's got a mother load of them.
Michael Barfield? But you can send me some, right?
Yes, I can send you. Yeah, if you read this stuff, it'll make, so scary, man. And guess what? Guess what my sheriff has?
What does he have?
Okay, I found out years ago, I used to know a Charlotte County Sheriff deputy. We hate each other's guts now. When I found out that they're freaking Nazis, in my opinion, because he told me he planted one of these cell phone stingers. Okay, Carlos, that's how I knew they had it. He told me that, and when he told me that, this was years ago, I was like, "Isn't that illegal?" He said, "That's fine. We have enough other stuff on him to prosecute him." I was like, "You prick! You just talked about violating his rights, and you think it's funny? You don't give a shit." So I found out this is how they're scamming it, Carlos. Charlotte County Sheriff, I asked for years, do you got the Stingray? This is how I found out they're scamming it. They don't have the Stingray. They have a team called the ESST team, the Electronic Surveillance Team. Okay, they got 11 people on it. There's 150,000 people in Charlotte County, mainly old farts, which I don't know why they got 11 people on this team, but they do. One of the people on the team is a sheriff's son. One of the people on the team is a sheriff's uncle. You don't think they would abuse that toy? So this is what I found out. They are...
This team does what now?
They do the cell phone stingray.
So, which means what? They can see all our information if they want to?
That's right. They can get a judge's order, turn this sucker on in my neighborhood, get the whole neighbor. You know, they're saying they're going for me, but they get everybody in the whole neighborhood.
And so they can hear conversations, or what exactly?
They can get the conversations, the text, the IP, your location, everything. I'm serious. I will send it to you. The minute we're done, I'll send it to you. It's unbelievable. They're doing it.
Right.
So, Carl, I gotta tell you this part. This is how they were not lying that they don't have one. Here's a scam. For liability reasons, they are borrowing it from the FBI and FDLE. That's how they got away with saying we don't have it, because they don't. They borrow it.
Well, they do have it. They just don't own it.
That's correct. So, but as you know with records law, if you say the wrong thing, are you going to get the document?
Well, you have it, so you know that's kind of a lie, because it is a lie.
It is. You are correct. So that's some of the really big stories that I've blown. Some of the normal things that I do all day long. I don't know if you know that I love getting IAs and putting those out there. All the internal investigations. That's fun. I've literally got death threats just for doing that. And you know, so I got cameras all over the house. I got cameras in my bag. I got car DVR cameras in the car. Because yeah, I get death threats for exposing these internal investigations, and they hate that, man. So, but as you can see, I could go on forever. Is there anything that you're wondering or thinking?
Well, I just wanted to, because I know you message me a lot, and I just don't have time. I get really busy, so I just want to get everything on one video.
Correct.
You know, because it's, you know, what happens is, especially on Facebook, you know, you get messages, and a week later,
correct,
it's hard to go back and get those messages. So, yeah, and so the main stories here, from what I understand, is your the trespassing thing, and the gun thing, and the stingray thing. What else? What are the big things we talk about here?
Like I said, I get death threats. I literally turn them in for the death threats. I literally turned, you know, it was on Facebook too. I turned them in and they...
Who gives you the death threats?
Okay, so we did an IA on one of the cops here. His wife got pissed, sent my wife on Facebook a nasty message. I blocked her right away. She didn't know about it right away. And then later... she started that same thread on her Facebook page. They're both Filipinos. They're from a Catholic country. So she put a candle there that's in the dark. And in the Philippines, that means death. And they started a thread with all their friends where a couple of them literally did say that I should end up in the river and all this other stuff. And her husband is the sheriff deputy. Her husband liked the page. As you know, there's been cops that just for liking have gotten fired, demoted, whatever. So they...
Did you screenshot that page?
What's that?
Did you make a screenshot?
Of course. Yeah, we turned it all in. And internal investigations investigated themselves, and they found themselves...
unsustained. Right?
Exactly. Not guilty. So IA here, internal investigations here is a joke, big time. I do got to mention here too, a quick second. I didn't even mention it yet. My Facebook page is Charlotte County, Florida Copwatch. The YouTube page is Live Free or Die People Before It's Too Late. And then the web pages, there's many. I mean, Charlotte County, Florida Copwatch, and etc. And that's what I do, Carlos. I pull records all the time. In fact, here's what I was doing before you called today. This is one, to me, it's a hobby. I quit drinking and drugging, so when I go to work, I come home, instead of watching TV, I love this. Because as you know, investigation is a high in itself. I freaking love it. And you get to nail bad guys, right? So I just got the latest. Did you know that you can get the Master IA list? Do you know what that is?
Isn't that the Brady list?
It's not, and that's funny you mention that. We've been trying to get that forever. Did you know they don't even have one here at So Corrupt?
They probably do. They just don't want to give it up.
Well, yeah, that too. Very true. Okay, so you can ask for the Sunshine Law request for the Master Internal Investigations log. Carlos, that thing is beautiful. You get to see who's been accused of what, where, when, and why. Were they guilty? Are they not? And here's the fun part, Carlos. You get to take those IA numbers and pull the log. You get to pull the file. And usually that's for free. That is awesome. I expose...
You go into the department to look at the files, or how do you do that?
Okay, so what I'm doing is, a lot of people, they go in person with their camera to do that. To do what I'm doing, I don't got enough time. Email rocks. And here's another good reason why you should email everything, Carlos. As you know, email is golden. With Sunshine Law, they can't keep it forever, but a long time, correct?
Right.
And if you get them doing bad stuff in email, is that going to help a court case?
Of course, it's all documented.
That is correct. So that's why I email all this stuff. Charlotte County Sheriff, I will admit, is one of the people that did get a little bit more high tech. They actually, do you guys down by you have the new portal that they give you everything now?
I don't know.
Okay, we're getting it through a portal. So I'll ask through an email, but I get it through their portal. Here's where the sheriff, I will tell you, is actually doing a good thing. In this portal, Carlos, everybody that got a records request, he's leaving it in there for the public to see if they want to go through it, and that is awesome. Because as you know, once a records request is done, paid for, not paid for, the rest anybody else can get it for free. Correct?
Okay.
Okay, they can. So, once in a while, I'll go through the list of what people have got just to see who's asking what, where. Dude, I found stuff in there that's incredible, man. I mean, wow. One time I went in there, I didn't know you could get this. Here's another fun one to get. Ask for the Sunshine Law request for the records request log. Do you know what that is?
No, tell me.
Okay, records request log. They must, by law, everybody that makes a record request, make a log. It's an Excel spreadsheet. It's a big one, okay? That's another one that if you follow that log, I would highly recommend doing that for the police, the sheriff, and your government, because you can find out who's doing what, where, how, why, and when. And like I said, once those people get the documents, you can ask for the document and get it for free. It's a beautiful thing.
So what kind of records are people asking for?
Okay, I'm going to give you an example. Here's a record that I'm asking for. And you should ask for this too. All your friends should ask for this. Ask for Sunshine Law requests for all the intent to sue. Do you know what that is?
Right, people intending to sue, they have to file notice.
That is correct. Here's your sign that it must be some good stuff, Carlos. This corrupt sheriff has been in power for 6 years, okay? This, as you know, an intent to sue is a public paper, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, it's a public paper. You can find it on Pacer. I don't pay for Pacer because it's too expensive. Okay, I asked for the last 6 years of intent to sue paperwork, okay? They are trying to tell me that they have to go through all the intent to sue and redact him to hide, in case, he might be hurting somebody's feelings or whatever, which is a bunch of shit. It's a fucking public document that you can find on Pacer. So guess how much they want to charge me for that?
How much?
That one, I believe, $350.
And what did you say?
I said no. What I tried to do at that point is I tried to break it down, Carlos, instead of 7 years. Because as you know, there shouldn't be that many intent to sue, correct? Hope to God not, okay? There's hopefully there's only 3 or 4 a year, whatever. All right.
How many are there?
You know what? They won't even tell me.
Okay.
That's sad. Yeah, Carlos, what we need here, too, is we need a lawyer to sue them on the records law, because they are abusing the hell out of it, big time.
A lot of attorneys, they don't like doing public records because there's not a lot of money in it.
That's true and it's not true. As you know, it's easy freaking money. They get paid. I don't know why they don't.
Right.
I really don't. Have you ever interviewed James McLinnis running for Pinellas County Sheriff?
No, I don't, but I should. I follow him on Facebook.
Yeah, dude, he rocks. Did you know that he does have a lawsuit against the records department?
No.
Oh my God, he's even got video depositions that you would love. I mean, they're just ripping these freaking records lady, and these records ladies are admitting that they purposely, knowingly, and willfully were frustrating his process just because they hate him. Mm-hmm. Is that legal?
No.
No. Here's another example of a bill I just got here lately, Carlos. Remember I told you the non-approval list from FDLE? Okay, first nobody would give it to me. Then everybody was giving it to me because they said it's not legal. We're not breaking any law. Oh my God, bullshit. But anyways, all of a sudden, the one agency that said no, Northport Police said no. Then they said yes. They gave me one for free. All of a sudden, when we freaked them out and said, you guys are going to be sued to hell, because I said, okay, fine, give me all your non-approval lists for the past 7 years. Guess how much the bill was?
How much?
Now they want to charge me, because now they know they're fucked. They're going to be sued. They said they literally have to go through all the non-approval list to make sure if they're going to do a background check to see if they're really a criminal or not, which is insane bullshit. They want $171,000. So that's why, I love what the auditors are doing, Carlos. I mean, that's great to hold them accountable. But and I know, being a FOIA terrorist, in my opinion, oh my God, it's awesome exposing stuff. I'm sure you've done the same over the years, correct?
Yeah, I'd like to do more. Yeah, I agree. The public records skills, that's the next level from auditing. Auditing is like the introduction of keeping your eye on government.
Correct.
But you can only do so much with that.
That is correct.
Testing out whether they respect your rights or not. But when you learn public records, then you can find out if they don't want it. Because the auditing is we're seeing what we can see. So it's
correct.
We're just recording it, and they freak out about that. And it shows they might have something to hide. But to really find out what they have to hide, you got to do what you're doing.
Yeah, And I preach that to everyone. In fact, some of the new big channels, James Madison, I met him in person. Rogue Nation might come down here now because it's so fucking out of control. But I told them both, I'm like, dude, this is great. Your auditing is awesome, but you can do so much more damage with records request. I mean, brutal. You just heard me tell you, you get the record request log, then you get to find out what everybody's getting, and if you want it, you get it for free. Woohoo! Then you get the internal affairs master list. You get to pull all the internal investigations. Isn't that fun?
Yeah, I don't think all the other states are that flexible with public records.
You are correct. And I should reiterate that to everybody watching. That's called a sunshine law request for Florida. Other states is FOIA, correct?
Well, I think FOIA is more federal.
Correct.
Right, and the sunshine law is more state. But I know California has some very strict public records laws where they protect cops.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's really, I used to work out there as a reporter, and they have the Law Enforcement Bill of Rights, which is
wow.
The Bill of Rights, basically, they have the right to basically protect themselves from you exposing them, pretty much.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. I will tell you one thing California did right. Did you see they just banned that facial recognition? Dude, that is so scary. Oh my God. Do you want to be like China? Hell no. You're on a point system and they're tracking you everywhere. So yeah, they just banned it. Did you know that Pinellas County Sheriff brags that he's got the biggest database of faces in Florida?
Oh yeah?
On video. That's scary as hell, man. He's like, yeah, this is awesome, man. So and I know, Carlos, if you know the Constitution and our rights, that's violating, in my opinion, the Fourth Amendment. You can't go outside because somebody's going to see and say, oh shit, you owe a parking bill, or you didn't pay your child support, or I forgot to pay my tag. You know what? The list is endless. Here's another one that we've been pulling records on too, Carlos, and I'm sure you're aware of this. These LPR readers, these license plate tag readers, are bad mojo, dude. You already know that, correct? Yeah, they're tracking you, and here's where people don't realize, dude, this is what they do here. They put those fucking things on one of those, those signs that'll tell you how fast you're going on a trailer, and they park it somewhere, okay? Carlos, they're getting a live feed, so when you go buy that, if you got a warrant or you owe a bill or whatever, it'll go. The cop will be down the road with the laptop. It'll go ding, 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 ding. Get him, and they'll pull you over. You have committed no crime before that, and they just illegally ran your tag.
Yeah.
Bad stuff. So yes, records law, records requests, in my opinion, that auditing is great, but man, doing FOIA requests, I've done so much damage. Here's another example, in my opinion, that I've helped this, Carlos. In 6 years, our agency here with the sheriff, we have jail, court, and sheriff, okay? We hardly have any cities. So he has 600 employees, okay? A lot, okay? Guess how many have fired, retired, and quit in 6 years?
How many?
400. I believe it's because of Copwatch. And I literally have had other cops tell people that give me tips, it's because of Copwatch. It's funny as hell, one of the guys that gives me tips, he asked his buddy, he goes like, why'd you leave? And all he told him is, he goes, just go to the Copwatch Facebook page, and that's why I left. I can't take it anymore because he's exposing everything. Because as you know, the TV and the newspaper can only do so much, correct?
Right.
And what you do, man, I freaking love it. You're one of my heroes. Freedom Thought Project is one of my heroes. I mean, you guys are doing this stuff that the press won't do. I will admit, like I said, the press here is starting to come around. They're starting to see that I'm legit, I'm kicking ass, I'm blowing stories open, and if I would have waited for them, it would have never happened. You know what I'm saying? So it's been an interesting 6 years. I'm really hoping, this is what my wife is hoping for. We don't make money doing this. I get a little bit of donations, but I don't make money on YouTube. I ask for donations on PayPal, Patreon, but that's not happening. Eric Friday said, hopefully with this gun lawsuit on the pawn list, he is hoping and pushing for, he's going to try to get me whistleblower. Because, what's that?
What do you mean by that?
Okay, because we blew open the story that, that all these, the sheriff, all the police, not all of them, but almost, okay, almost, are getting these illegal lists. You know what whistleblower is, right?
No, tell me.
Okay, whistleblower is when you blow open something that the government's doing illegally.
I know what whistleblower, yeah, someone blowing, but is it something like, I would think you're making it sound like some kind of software or something. But
okay.
Whistleblower protection.
Yeah, that is correct. Okay, a lot of times with whistleblower, there is money tied.
There's what?
There is money tied to it.
Okay.
You can get paid. Okay, because you're literally risking your...
How are you, see, if you're not working for them, how are you the whistleblower?
All I know is that what Eric Friday is saying, because I was the one that brought it to him. Me and my friend, my friend had me ask about it. We blew open the story about the pawn list because even Eric didn't know about it. Like I said, it started with my friend asking me to...
I don't understand when you say, are you talking about whistleblower protection? And if you're saying that, this usually applies to...
No, not whistleblower protection. It's called whistleblower money. It's when you expose government corruption, you can get paid. Are you...
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, look it up. It's real. And Eric said if things did go right, it should be a good amount of money, okay? Because remember, like I told you, the 79335, that's $5 million per agency. Dude, how many agencies are violating this?
Right.
A lot. I just told you there's 65 sheriffs, there's 200 police agencies. What if half of them are violating?
Yeah.
Is that a lot of money?
Of course.
Yes. My wife would like to update our house, okay? Because I haven't got paid for doing this for 6 years. So just say a prayer. We would love it if that happened because, like I said, I don't make money. I know a lot of auditors are, and that's great. But as we just had the discussion, Google has cut me off. Period. YouTube has cut me off. They know my name, they know my phone number, they know my address, they know my bank. I'm screwed. But that's life. Our founding fathers didn't do it for the money, did they?
No, I mean I've been cut off too, man. It's a struggle.
It is.
A big struggle. But what are you gonna do, right? You got to do it.
Well, correct. If nobody does it, it only gets worse. Correct.
Right. Correct.
Yeah, and that's why I do it. And I will tell you this, even though it still sucks here, they're trying to shut us down, it has gotten better. In fact, we've hammered Punta Gorda Police. You remember Punta Gorda Police, right? They let their freaking dog eat that guy. Remember that one? And then they killed the old lady. All right. We have hammered, me, Ian, and some other guys have hammered the Punta Gorda Police so hard. Dude, I could not believe this. It's been in the paper twice. The paper's written about it. The city said this has got to stop. They are funding body cameras, period. That's awesome. You know and I know, when an agency gets body cameras, complaints go down by half.
If you turn them on.
Yeah. No, better than that one, if they work, right? They'll say, oh, it was corrupted.
We got to turn on. We always have to go through that. So
Correct. Yes, and you know what they're doing down here too is, and I'm sure they do it up there or over there, is that we have to review it in case we have to redact anything. So now we're getting charged per frickin' hour. But whatever, it will help because the Punta Gorda Police here are out of control. The sheriff is out of control. Here's the sad part, Carlos. The sheriff here still has no body cameras or car cameras. And what year are we in?
Right.
That's sad. Okay, why would you do that?
No, we know.
Okay, there you go. So, because they're corrupt and it's their word against ours, correct?
Right.
Correct. So you got any other questions?
I think I'm good now, but I definitely want to review this. Send me all those documents.
Oh my God, absolutely. Yeah, dude, start pulling records over there. I bet you're, oh my God. What, are you in Miami?
I'm in Miami, yeah.
I bet they're stupid using the Stingray over there.
Oh, I'm sure, like, yeah. So, send it to me, man. Let's see what's up, man. Let's break this open.
All right, and I'm going to send you Barfield's information. Like I said, around here, he is the records king on lawsuits, suing him to get the records. He is the man.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
I think that's all I got. Is that all you got?
I think we're good, man. We're good. I got this recorded, and this is good to have in one video, so I get it all.
There you go. So, thanks for taking the time. Please help promote the channel. Like I said, I'm getting shadow banned to hell, dude. It sucks. It sucks so bad, man. It's sad. I put all that work and now I get 100 views. Woohoo! Yay!
I know, man. We're going through the same shit.
All right. All right. Do you know when you might have this ready to go?
Oh, I can't tell you that. I mean, I'm so swamped.
Okay.
I may have a couple, maybe a few articles, maybe not one article.
Okay.
It takes time to write these articles because you want to get it right.
Correct.
Everything, and I got so much else going on, so it does take time.
Okay, that's fine.
This is the first step, so it's good to have this all.
I'll tell you what, the stuff I'm going to send you, you're going to want to write because it's bad. Bad. All right. All right. Well, thank you for finally talking to me. It took 6 years, but we finally did an interview.
Thank you.
All right. You have a good night, man.
You too. Take care.
All right. See ya.
Hey, Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Copwatch. I am using any video here under fair use if you have criticism, reporting, teaching, etc. And please donate. I do not make money from YouTube, and there are different ways to donate in the video links. Thanks.